Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning back in with me today because we will be talking about something very unique, and it's the new one-of-a-kind palette from Hindash. And if you don't know Hindash, he's an amazing makeup artist. I would highly suggest you go and look for his videos. I'll link it down below so you can have a look at all of the beautiful tutorials that he does. So the Beautopsy palette is a 6-pan eyeshadow palette that you can mix and match to create another 26 colors. It has the mirror and it comes with these 6 different colors, and what's really cool about it is that you can put the mirror at the back and just hold the palette on your hand. It's cardboard, but it's really lightweight at the same time. It feels very luxurious. It is very luxurious. So I've used this palette today on my eyebrows, on my face, on my eyes, so everything. I cannot wait to tell you all about it, show you all the colors. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'll start by contouring my face, and I'll use this Feel Plus Real, and I'm using the MAC 168, and you can see how much product this has picked up. So I'll remove excess on the back of my hands first, and then I'll start by just gently patting that on the skin. And wow, just the tiniest amount, and this has applied quite a lot of product. And I'll contour the rest of my face because it has quite a lot of product. So I used more of the brown color just because I don't want my contour to be very ashy, and this just is very pigmented to apply on the face. And you know, you can mix the colors of the brown and the gray depending on how ashy you want your contour to be. I'll go back to my foundation brush and just buff that into the skin just to make it look even more seamless, just because I applied a little bit more product than what I wanted. For some blusher for the face, I'm going to be mixing Boy Plus Wonder, which is that really gorgeous peachy pinky shade, and I'll use it on my Bobbi Brown sheer powder brush. And you can see just a tiny bit of product just gives a really beautiful and very flushed look. Like, it looked really nice, and I only had to put my brush once and it gave me that much color. So of course, if you want, you can always amplify this blusher by mixing it with Love Plus Kills or with a little bit of brown, or make the blusher a little bit paler with the other shades on top. So it depending on what you want, you can really mix it up and get a lot more colors than just this color. But I really love pinky blush. I'll continue with this color. And it's honestly so beautiful on the face and really pigmented. So now that I've applied my blush, I can say that definitely the color payoff and the application was really almost exactly the same as I would have had a normal blusher and just applied it. Like, it's very soft, it's very smooth, it glided on really easily, and it was super pigmented, and it looks just very flawless and very pretty. So I love the blush so far. Now, to powder my skin underneath my eye area, I'll go with the Wet Plus paint, and I'll use this more yellowy color just because the more yellow powder is going to help brighten the under eye even more. And this is the Wayne Goss number 02 brush, so just a tiny bit to set my under eye concealer. And even though I've taken quite a lot of product on the brush and I'm pushing it underneath my eyes, I can't see that the powder is looking dry or that it looks too much. Like, it looks just really seamless and just beautiful. Now, with the same color and mixing it with a bit of the white, I'll use this as a setting powder. So using the same brush, and I'm literally just applying it in the areas that I want to set my makeup. So that's mainly the center part of my face. It looks very natural and seamless, you know, as if I just used a setting powder. It's not emphasizing. I can't tell that my face is looking heavy. It's looking absolutely amazing. So for my eyes, I've used the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer in the shade number 2C just on the top of my eyes as an eyeshadow primer, and going back with the shade Wet, again with the same Wayne Goss brush, and I'll just lightly set the eye area just so when we put other colors, everything can move really seamlessly. So as I told you, we will be doing everything with this palette on the face and on the eyes. I'll also use it on my brows, and I'll use the Feel Plus Real, and I'll literally mix some of the brown and some of the gray, just to get a good mixture of both, and just starting in the areas that I need most of the color. So this is on the perimeter of my eyebrows, and I don't know if you can see, but it's just applying really easily and very pigmented on my brows, which is great. I'll take a little bit more of the gray color just because I prefer my brows not to be red, so this gray color will help tone the brown color down and give you that perfect look. So a little bit more just in the beginning part of my brows, but you can always just mix and match the colors to see what kind of tone you prefer, and then once you do it once, you'll be able to know exactly what sort of color mixing you need to do. And now just with a spoolie brush to help blend the colors on my brows, and now I'm going in with a little bit more of that gray color just to emphasize my brows a little bit more. If you like more of a soft brow look, it's a lot easier to use eyeshadow to fill in your brows rather than using brow pencils or brow mascara or pens or anything like that. So it really depends. I'm really enjoying the powder on my eyebrows because I already have naturally strong brows, so when I just want a little bit of emphasis, using powder is going to just give me that perfect look without being too much. It's really important that you blend out your brows with the spoolie once you're done, just because this will make them look a lot more fluffy and more natural, and it will help mix the colors that we applied on your brows and make it look a lot more seamless. So the eyeshadows really performed amazing, and I can really tell that my brows are much thicker and much fuller, but again the color tones that I ended up mixing look really good, and I ended up mixing a little bit more of the gray color just because with my colorings I need something a bit ashier, because if I used more of the brown then my brows were starting to look a little bit red. So if you have similar issue with that, just mix a little bit more of the gray color and you'll be absolutely fine. Now moving on to the eyes, I'm going to try and use as many colors as I can from the palette so you can see the different colors and how they look on the eyes. So I'll first start with the pale white color from Tan Plus Line using my Charlotte Tilbury blender brush, and I'll just use it in this inner corner of my eyes and a little bit of this color underneath my brows just for a bit of brightening, and you can see they look very smooth on the eyes. So next I'll go with Tan Plus Lines and use the beige color, and I'll start to place that onto my eyelid, and this is just going to look a little bit more like skin tone color but just slightly darker. If you can see just on my eyes it looks a hint peachy, but it looks really beautiful. And the cool thing is, of course, you can mix this color with the paler one, the white one, and make it look lighter. So it really depends on what you want to create. You can get a lot of colors out of this palette. Now for my crease, I'm going to create that more of like a pinky gray color. So I'll mix a bit of Boy Plus Wonder, the pink one, together with some of the gray, but I'm using more of the pink just because I don't want it to look super gray on my crease. And now coming into my crease and start to buff that into the crease. And I just love the fact, you know, that I can mix the colors so easily and get so many colors, but you can see it builds up really well on my eyes, and the colors seem to be very seamless, which is great. You can tell this looks very pinky, so I'll use a bit more of the gray and a tiny bit of the pinky color, and I'll start to mix this again on my crease. And I'm taking it until the middle and really pushing it outwards, just because I like to elongate my eyes a little bit. So having a gray eyeshadow in this palette is amazing because you don't really see a lot of eyeshadow palettes that have a gray. And I think it's such a nice mixing color, you know, for your crease and for your contour. So that's really great because it's definitely something you don't see a lot in a lot of eyeshadow palettes. So now that I'm blending these colors, they are pigmented, but they're not that super heavy pigment where, you know, you put one swipe and there's too much pigment. It's just enough where it still show up on your eyes, but it's very seamless, so it blends out really easily, and they look really silky on your eyes. I don't know if you know what I mean, but they look very, very seamless, especially if you're in more of like a natural makeup person and you enjoy blending, then you will absolutely love the formula of these eyeshadows. To add a little bit more definition, I'm going to use the Intra plus Fatum, and I'll take this reddish brown. So if you watch my makeup tutorials, you know how much I adore a good reddish brown, and so far this is one of the best colors that I've ever seen in terms of this kind of tone, because it really just defines, but it also doesn't look super dark. I'll be using it on one of my favorite brushes, the MAC 228S, and just start to apply that on the outer corner of my eyes and lifting it up. And most importantly is that there is zero fallout, which is not something you find very easily in eyeshadows. Like a lot of the eyeshadow palette, most of them would have a lot of fallout. This one doesn't at all. I mean, you've seen as I'm working now on it, it's just looking amazing. And you can see just how gorgeous this color is. And again, it's just pigmented enough where it just blends out and looks very seamless. So I'm coming from the outer corner and just lifting it up and blending it with the rest of the colors that I have in my crease. And you can see it just helps to make the eyes pop, but without being super dark or super heavy looking. Like it's still blending out extremely seamless. So as you're blending in this outer corner, make sure that you have your eyes open so you can be able to see how far you're taking the shadow. So if this color finishes from the whole palette, I'll just repurchase all of the palette just so I can have this color, because it's that good. And again, this brush makes it so easy to apply this sort of color and do this more like blending technique, just gently. So you don't have to dip many times, you just need to apply a little bit of product and start to blend it out as you go along. I'll now mix the same color together with some of the pinky color. I'll use it just underneath my eyes, and I'll also connect the top part with the bottom part, just up until the center. And you can see just the tiniest amount just really gives a lot of pigment underneath my eyes. Now for the brown color, which I know a lot of you might be interested in, I'll use some on my Wayne Goss number 04, and I'll start to mix this color just to blend away the other shades together. So I'm keeping the same shape just to elongate my eyes a bit more. I'm just blending out really well. And also this brush is really perfect for when you want to just blend away, very seamless, and it's super soft. For a bit more definition, I'll go in with the black color in the palette, and this is one of my favorites, the MAC 212, and I'm just pushing some of this black, just on the root of the lashes. So until halfway through, and when I come towards the end, I'll start to lift this color up. I just like to put my brush leaning down on my eyes and start to lift this color up. Now just blending the whole thing together. So now just to sharpen the outer parts of my eyes, I'll use a bit of the white color with the banana color just on a normal flat eyeshadow brush, and just coming underneath this outer part and literally just applying this color. This will just help make this area look a bit lighter and a bit more lifted, but also a little bit brighter. Now I'm back to my Wayne Goss number 04, and I'll mix the two colors in the Feel Plus Real Row, removing excess on the back of my hands, and now very gently just contouring the sides of my nose. So I just want this to look very gentle, so I'm using very little pressure and very little product. And applying a little bit of this color just in here, just to really help to structure this part of my face. And now that we are in almost the end part of the eyes, I'll use the tiniest amount of this more pinky color on my Wayne Goss number 04. And just with my eyes open, I like to place it just on this very top part, and it almost brings the harmony back from the cheeks up to the eyes, and just really helps to make the whole makeup look very beautiful and a lot more kind of natural and as if they tied in together really well. Now for mascara, I'm going to use my favorite Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara, and I'll really load my lashes with this mascara and grab every single lash. So obviously starting from the root and really pulling it up. And this mascara is amazing. I've just ordered the new one because I'm almost out of this one, because it really helps me separate my lashes really well. So my final thoughts on this palette is that it's absolutely amazing. It's one of a kind. I've never seen an eyeshadow palette in this sort of setup, and you can use it in so many ways, to use it on your brows, your eyes, your face. It's very versatile, and I love the fact that it's an all matte eyeshadow palette, because usually there aren't a lot of eyeshadow palettes in the market that are completely matte and really customizable as this one. You know, especially if you're a makeup artist like myself, I think you'll really benefit of this eyeshadow palette, because you'll just have this palette, you can mix and match, you know, create different colors and use it, you know, on the whole face, which makes it super easy and super versatile. And one of the most unique things about this palette is the fact that the mirror, you can put it at the back and just hold the palette in one hand, because especially when you're doing makeup on other people, you know, you can just hold the palette and then put your brushes in and go straight onto your client. So it makes it such an easy way to hold the palette, and it's super lightweight. It's all cardboard. So the texture on these eyeshadows, they're just very unique in a way that they're very silky, very smooth, but they're still very pigment, which is amazing because I've never seen anything like that. Usually you'd get eyeshadows or blushers that, for example, are so pigmented, so you have to be really careful with the amount that you would use. But with this one, you know, you just need a tiny bit and you still get the pigment. There's enough room for you to blend it out and still make it look really seamless. So either you're a beginner or you're already a makeup artist, I think you're going to love this palette. And especially if you're looking out for something that is matte, it's easy to use, you just have one product that does it all basically, then this palette is for you and you're going to absolutely love it. So looking at the palette, you might think, oh, I'm not a professional, I won't be able to mix the colors, but believe me, it's so much easier than you think, because, you know, if you want to make one of the colors look lighter, you can just mix it with the lighter colors, and the same with the darker colors. You can mix, for example, the more peachy pinky side with the more orangey to just create something in between, and then mix it again with the white one or the beigey one to get a different colors. It's very lightweight, and I'll be definitely taking it on my next trip because it's going to be very versatile. And I loved all of the colors, you know, on my eyes, on my face. The contour, everything looked very seamless and it performed absolutely amazing. So let me know if you're planning on getting this palette or if you've already got it and you're playing with it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below and I'll come to you straight away. And I always love discussing about makeup, so I cannot wait to hear all your thoughts about it.